Hey, good morning. How are you today? You having a pardon you having a good morning? Probably on your commute if you live in the United States. It's looks like it's about 10 minutes after 7 a.m. here in Tennessee. I coming to you this morning because yesterday it was kind of all over the news that the FDA approved a new opioid drug. The new drug is a basically it's a form of pharmaceutical fentanyl. All right. And I don't know if you know anything about fentanyl, but synthetic forms are being shipped in from China and all over the country. And enough of that drug to you can put enough of that drug on the head of a pin to kill 10 people. So fentanyl is an extremely powerful, extremely addictive opioid medication, synthetic opioid. And the FDA yesterday, I think it was yesterday, it could have been last week sometime, but they approved a pharmaceutical grade fentanyl, as if we need more opioids, called Disuvia. And folks, we do not need more opioid medication. You know, I'm going to have people that are on pain medication just slaughter me, and they're going to say, you don't know what it's like to be in pain. Okay, I don't. Fair enough. I don't know what it's like to have chronic debilitating pain, but I can tell you this: we do not need medication that enough of it to fit on the head of a pin. Hi Trista, hi Linda, Amanda, can kill 10 people. It's so easy to hide and shipping it over from other countries. And the FDA basically just gave a drug company the approval to have this medication. Now, I saw something that said, well, we need this for people that are on the battlefield, our troops. Folks, no, we don't. I have nearly every single one of my friends that I graduated high school with went in the military, and they served our country. And I will tell you, the military does whatever they want. They don't need an approval from the FDA for a drug. They can give them whatever they want. The emergency rooms do not need another form of it. They can put you out. Now, this medication is over 10 times stronger than morphine, and it is considered to be 5 to 10 times stronger than some synthetic fentanyls. We do not need this medication. Mr. Scott Gottlieb is the FDA commissioner, and he said, because he was criticized for being involved in the approval of this. It was in channels that I follow that he was pretty well ostracized for saying, I can't believe that you're going to approve another opioid medication like that has ever worked out for this country. I'm going to have a lot more to say on this. I'm going to get some statistics together and go over this, just because we need to fix this problem, this opioid problem. You can only fix it but through education and through frontline solutions, not the back end solutions like drug rehab and what do you call it, law enforcement. That won't work. Now, you can't fix it that way. So anyway, Mr. Scott Gottlieb, the FDA commissioner, said they're going to seek more approval to try and curb the fact that more things are approved, because we already have drugs like that exist. Like, there's no need. He's like, came along, basically said, look, if we already have a drug on the market that serves that purpose, there's no need to approve another one. And he said we need to gain more approval to have the authority to do that. And I was thinking, you're the FDA. Who are we asking this approval from? And I realized he's probably right. He needs to seek more approval from the people who write his paycheck, folks. 75% of the FDA's budget comes from the pharmaceutical industry. 75%. So, Mr. Gottlieb, the FDA commissioner, I hope you see this. If you guys share this enough, he will see this. So you guys hit that share button, hit that like button down there. But he basically is saying he's got to seek approval from the people who write his paycheck. Like, he's got to seek approval from the pharmaceutical industry to say, can we try to curb some of our approval of dangerous medications? He's not seeking approval from Congress to have more authority to curb these medications. Like, that's ridiculous. So the FDA has approved more drugs that have been dangerous to our population here's what you got to know. If a drug has been taken off the market, the FDA said, it's too dangerous, we need to take it off the market. There's one thing that had to happen. It had to have been approved for the market. So there are counties in West Virginia where 1 in 5 people are addicted to medication. And that includes the people driving around on the street are actually 1 in 5 of them are actually usually high on medication. Those are statistics, 1 in 5. Tennessee happens to be the 3rd most medicated state in the country, and we happen to be also one of the top 5 in opioid addiction. So here I am sitting in Tennessee and wondering, all the people that pass by my office every day, how many of them are actually addicted? And it hits all walks of life. We do not need another medication that is going to be abused. All right, we do not need that. We don't need a medication that is over 10 times stronger than morphine for pain. There's anesthesia if that's the case. Like, we have situations where certainly pain medication can be warranted. Hospital situations, you get in a car accident and you're who knows, maybe you had a limb amputated, and during your surgery and during your recovery. But doctors, then the pharmaceutical industry and the pharmaceutical distributors, which I'm going to talk about another time, the pharmaceutical industry, the pharmaceutical companies, the pharmaceutical distributors, and doctors created the opioid crisis. They created the current one. If you read about it, the old opioid crisis, the old heroin crisis in the 70s and whatnot, that was funny enough, largely created by the CIA. And I'm not trying to get into conspiracy theory. It's actually very well known. It's been it's all over. You can read about it, and that's not my opinion. They actually have copped to the crimes. But when our troops were coming back from Vietnam and whatnot, all addicted to heroin, the CIA helped create that problem. However, the pharmaceutical industry, pharmaceutical distributors, and doctors created the current one. And what do you think is going to happen with a new medication that is 5 to 10 times stronger than synthetic fentanyl? And what do you think is going to happen if it's over 10 times stronger than morphine? Here's what's going to happen. People are going to get that medication in a hospital, and they're going to take it, and in a very, very, very short period of time, they're going to become addicted to that powerful of an opioid. They'll become addicted to it very quickly. And what will happen at that point? And they'll say, well, my doctor gave it to me. He thought it was the best thing for me. I was in tremendous amount of pain. All of that could be true. Their doctor did maybe feel it was the best thing for them. They maybe were in tremendous amounts of pain. And so they trusted their doctor, took this medication, and they're going to become addicted. And when their doctor says, I can't keep giving this to you, you cannot take this outside of a hospital setting. You cannot, you get the idea. They're going to pull the plug on them. And where do you think those people are going to turn? They're going to turn to the street, where they can get a hit of fentanyl for just a few bucks compared to what this drug is going to end up being on the, when it gets onto the black market, this pharmaceutical grade, this Disuvia, will be expensive on the street as a name brand. And they're going to turn to the drug dealer on the corner. And the drug dealer on the corner isn't monitoring any of the safety of the drugs they're selling. And you're going to have more people dying and getting in hospitals for overdoses. You're going to have more of a need for this Narcan and these anti-opioid medications to keep people alive. You're going to have more families destroyed. We're going to have some serious problems, more than there are now. And the problem now is an epidemic level. So if I don't know where you're watching from, but if you're watching from the United States, you need to scream from the heavens to your congressman. I don't care whether you're on the red side or the blue side. I don't care if you're on the purple side. It doesn't matter to me. The bottom line is you need to scream to your congressman and that they need to rein in the FDA and the pharmaceutical companies. They're creating a drug culture in our society that we're going to have a hard time getting around at this point. It is that bad. We do not have, there's no way to create enough treatment facilities in this country to handle the people that are addicted now. You'd have to have a treatment facility on every corner. You'd have to have as many treatment facilities as you have McDonald's in order to handle the opioid crisis as it is now. Law enforcement cannot handle the problem. I don't care how much money you throw at them. Law enforcement cannot handle the problem. So what are you going to do? All right. First of all, we have to educate, starting at our children's level, we have to start educating our kids about these drugs and medications and that they're not safe. And then as an adult, when you have pain, you need to look for alternative solutions. You need to do things like stems. This is promotion for me. I'm going to be straight with you. I'm here and I'm promoting my office, but you guys can't all come to me. I'm in Middle Tennessee. I have patients that travel from all over the country. I lecture all over the country to medical doctors, nurse practitioners, chiropractors about alternatives, because doctors actually, funny enough, now are actually saying, we're not handling the problems with medication. We need another way. And I lecture all over the country on the subject of alternatives to pain and neuropathy and disc issues and arthritis. But there are solutions. You need to come to places, go to facilities that offer stem cell therapy, that offer microcurrent therapy, pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, the places that can do the right rehab. Some physical therapists are great at it. Some chiropractors are great at it. But some of them are they want to cut corners and they don't want to do it right. So you got to find the right places to go and get out of pain. You've got to handle the physical problems. And there are solutions. All the research, I shared this book over and over and over again. And I refer to this book all the time because it's Cartilage and Nerve Regeneration. Over 2,000 studies that prove you can regenerate cartilage, prove you can regenerate nerves. So when your doctor says there's nothing you could do, I'm going to tell you that's not true. He just isn't up on the research. So folks, I see I've got 30 or so people watching this. You guys give me some likes, share this for me, please share this. And get this information out there, and start calling your congressman. And if you personally are in pain, start looking for other alternatives. Don't count on your insurance company to do it. Your insurance company and the drug companies, they're like this. They're bedfellows. You cannot count on your insurance to cover your health anymore. There's a policy, Medicare policy. This is a Medicare policy, section 2251.3 says, and I don't know the exact quote, but it basically says a therapy or a service designed to restore your health is not medically necessary. Now I cut that. It's a paragraph long, but you can look it up. Section 2251.3 Medicare policy that says a therapy or service designed to restore health or prevent disease is not considered medically necessary. So Medicare guidelines tend to be imported into Blue Cross and healthcare and Aetna and things like that. So if you're going to count on your insurance to keep you healthy, also I have to tell you, and I'm going to say this, that's going to sound very calloused, but respectfully, good luck with that. It is not going to work out for you. So you got to take action. You got to work at being healthy these days. The FDA, obviously, based on what I've told you, is not going to help you in this regard. They're not approving drugs that are here to help you. And they also work for the food industry. So they're not going to say that food can help you when food is actually what's killing us. So listen, go out and have a great day. Work at leading a better life and a healthier life. I don't know what your life is like, so I don't want to say that it needs to be better, but we want you to be as healthy as possible. We want you to be as healthy as possible. We here at Magnolia Medical want to end as much suffering, human suffering, as we can in as many ways that we can. We work diligently every day to help people in our community deal with health challenges. We don't want them to wait until they're too bad or till they're really bad. You want to catch the problems early. So spend energy. If you're just starting to get problems, headaches, neck pain, knee pain, now's the time to handle it, not when it becomes debilitating. I hope you found this valuable. If you find this valuable, again, I'm going to just shameless self-promotion here. Please hit that share button. Let me tell you why we need to share it. Sorry, I'm going to keep going here for a second. Let me tell you why you need to share this. The pharmaceutical industry spends last year spent $6.4 billion on advertising. That doesn't include what they spent in teaching doctors and sending out their reps to the doctors' offices. It doesn't include the pens and pads of paper and the trips that they send doctors to, or what they spend teaching doctors and having doctors go out and lecture for them. None of that's included. This is straight advertising to the consumer, $6.4 billion. Now, I did the math on this, and I want you to understand how much money is being spent trying to drug you up, okay? If you break that down, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, okay, 52 weeks a year, every single hour the pharmaceutical industry is spending $730,000 to advertise to you that you should take these drugs. All right. It's not what they spend advertising to the doctor. They do spend money advertising to the doctor. This is consumer advertising, $730,000 per hour, trying to get you to take these drugs. This drug is going to come out and it's going to be advertised. All right. And this was approved by the FDA. The people that are charged in keeping your food, your drugs safe, and all they're doing at this point is giving license to a pharmaceutical company to truthfully kill more people. All right. So that's why I need you to promote this. That's why I need you to share this, because I don't have $730,000 an hour to promote that there's alternatives. So share this, hit that share button. I appreciate you watching. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you next time.